Do you think that Doug Pederson owes the team an apology for benching Hurts?
Yes, I do. I only think that not only do I think he owes them an apology, I think he should be fired. And by the way, I thought that before this, but now I would say absolutely. I thought that because of the Carson Wentz debacle, and I think it now. The only one thing that could save him is this. You hear what Miles Sanders said? Listen closely. Whoever was the main factor behind the decision. If Pederson, who remember could not choose his own staff, right? When the head coach is not allowed to choose his own guys, when the head coach is saddled with a quarterback who clearly won't listen, who won't follow the game plan, who won't execute the things clearly they must have worked on during the week, right? Like ball security, simple stuff, don't force throws, stuff like that. When all that's going on, you start to wonder, is the head coach really calling the shots? If Pederson, who would still owe the team an apology, were to say, look, guys, hands are tied. I got the cuffs on. Like, I had to do this. I got my marching orders. Maybe that would save his job or explain what's going on. But otherwise, listen to the players on the team. Jason Kelce, media availability, December 19th. Go check out what he said and imagine how he feels about this. You just heard Miles Sanders. Those guys, how can you trust that coach? Guys, this was not some game where, you know, like there are no implications. It got flexed to prime time. You were playing a divisional rival you had a chance to keep out of the playoffs. And don't tell me you were trying to go from 9 to 6 in the draft. Your GM hasn't drafted a Pro Bowler in half a decade. He's better off drafting 9th. The player will fall to him instead of making a mistake at 6th. Like, what are we really talking about here? What are we really talking about here?
I mean,
we need to evaluate the third stringer instead of to see if the second round pick, who's going to be your franchise quarterback, can win a game in prime time in the fourth quarter? Yeah, he owes him an apology, at least.
Nah, no, he don't owe them people. He don't. Well, he been mad. He been mad at Doug and Carson. He hates everybody in Philly, but he definitely does. He doesn't owe him an apology. And I'm on the side that he was dead wrong. I'm on the side that he didn't give his team the best opportunity to win. I'm on the side that the decision that he had predetermined before the game is one you absolutely cannot make in that position. But you don't owe him an apology. I played 13 years, and I can't remember ever hearing sorry. You get some my bads. You get some people taking accountability for their actions, and I'm sorry. Oh, I apologize. Doug Pederson didn't make this decision to spite his team. That's not what I feel. Doug Pederson made this decision because he looked at it as, this is the decision that I want to make. This is about Doug Pederson as the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles and whatever conversations that he was having with executives in his organization. Doug Pederson wasn't looking at this like, I'm doing the thing that's going to help y'all win football games. I'm doing whatever it takes to get us a dub, like Jason Kelce said in his media availability, and he made a mistake. Nah, this wasn't a mistake. This was a decision. This is a decision that he made knowing his team was going into the last game, knowing his team's season was over. They knew they were out of the playoffs. He didn't make this decision with those dudes in mind. He did this apart from them. So when you're not thinking about me or when you're not thinking about them while the decision is being made, then what the hell you owe them an apology for? This ain't about them. This was never about them. And that's the reason Max is right about him being fired, not because he owes them an apology, because he didn't think about them when he was making the decision in the first place.
Yeah, he's on to next year. That's what that decision suggests to me, is he's already on to next season, and maybe it wasn't up to him, but the rest of those players that were there, many of them won't be there next season, and they trying to get a job. Yeah. They want their film to look good. Film looks better when you got good quarterback play. It looks better for everybody when you got good quarterback play. But I do think that it's important to understand that on all teams, it's probably true of all organizations, there feels like there's always a divide between like the workers and management. And it's like us and them. You can work together, but on Sundays, there are only a few people who are us. The people that are on that field trying to win that game feel like us. And everyone who's out there needs to be doing what they can for us to succeed right then. It felt like Doug Pederson was them at that moment. It seemed like he was the front
right.
office. He was upstairs.
Right.
He was them.
He was the
them
man.
Don't care about this particular. Yeah, he was the man. Them don't care about this particular
Guys.
Sunday. Only us's care about this Sunday. And I'll bring something up. I just reminded of this by looking at Ryan Clark and thinking about the Steelers. I remember last year when Ben Roethlisberger got hurt, all of us dum-dums in the media was like, yeah, this is perfect. They're going to stink, and they're going to go get a quarterback. They was like, no, we're going to trade that pick away and get a safety. And I'm not going to sit here and defend that and say that was a smart decision, but you know what it did? It reinforces a culture that they're trying to set. You know what Doug Pederson's decision did? It unravels that sort of culture. And that was a small thing. This one thing is not going to be enough to break it all down, but all you need is one thing and then another. When Doug Pederson does something else that guys don't disagree with, when he says something that else that guys don't disagree with, they're going to look at each other, they're going to go in that locker room, and they're going to talk about him like he's them. Not like he's us. They're going to be like, man, your boy Doug up to it again. That's what's going to happen. You know what's not happening in the Steelers locker room?
Always
they going in there and talk about the they talk about the GM. They talk about everybody. It's us. They all us.
Look, I know you two both played in the league, and you're basically like my size, and that's remarkable. But let's just keep in mind in terms of credibility. When I simulated Madden back in like 2005, I won the Super Bowl in one of those simulations, so I think I have some gravitas and some standing.
Max, it's not a thing.
Well, I didn't repeat, but repeating is hard. You know, I thought I could because all the things got awareness and everything got bumped up, but I still didn't repeat. But that's not the point. Look, the fact of the matter is Doug Pederson blew it so bad that all around the football world, people in other organizations, not just the New York Football Giants, are being critical. Why do you think the league flexed it to prime time? Because there are playoff implications. And you can play sport. Don't tell me like, oh, you're sour grapes as a Giants fan. Even the Washington football team, that's a divisional rival you're playing. That's a one-score game. I'm not even talking about not, going for it instead of kicking the field goal on fourth down. Good. I don't care about the negative outcome. Don't be scared. Be bold, right? Fortune favors the bold. It didn't work out for them this time. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.